everyone, we meet again, and in this video lesson, we will be discussing the 10th story in your syllabus, titled A Mild Attack of Locusts. This story was written by Doris Lessing, who was a British Zimbabwean novelist. She was born in the year 1919 in Iran and won multiple awards for her thought-provoking and meaningful writing, including a Nobel Prize in Literature, the Somerset Maugham Award, the Shakespeare Prize, and many more. She died in the year 2013 in London at the age of 94. The story narrated in the previous lessons talks about a sudden attack of locusts that destroyed several farms and crops. The story begins when Margaret hears some noise and heads outside, where the sky appears to be the color of rust due to it being filled with thousands and thousands of locusts, which are a species of short-horned grasshoppers. Upon witnessing this, two characters from the story, namely Richard and Stephen, called for help. One of the helpers, the cook boy, quickly beat an old plowshare, a plow component. The voice emanating from it made everyone aware of the impending threat and brought it to the attention of all laborers. In the meantime, the houseboy went to collect tin cans and old metal pieces and began beating them to drive away from the locusts. Due to this, the farm erupted with the clamor of the gong, meaning the sharp sound of a metallic disc. The men lit up massive fires to drive away from the locust swarm, and Margaret could see the smoke from a distance. However, the locusts still kept coming. All the neighboring families were calling and informing one another of the damages they faced. The locusts completely devoured Old Smith's farm, and everyone was lighting fires near their farms to keep them safe. Every farmer hoped that the locusts wouldn't come near his farm, but at the same time, they were also cautioning other farmers to protect theirs. After a few minutes, Stephen came back and informed Margaret that the locusts had eaten everything. Every single leaf was gone off the farms, but they still decided to smoke and drive away from the locusts because the locust was heavy with eggs, and we were searching for a place to lay them. He picked a grasshopper from his shirt and split it down with his thumbnail to reveal the eggs on the inside. If the grasshoppers laid their eggs on the farms, their numbers would multiply by millions. This was the reason why, even though all crops were destroyed, the farmers were still making efforts to drive the locusts away. Margaret was then informed that this would continue to happen again for 2 to 3 years. This broke Margaret's heart, and she began to cry. However, the farmers didn't lose heart, as they knew that it could have been much worse. Now, let's look at a few difficult words that were present in this lesson. The word gazed means looked. The clamor of gong refers to the sharp sound of a metallic disc. Swelling is the increase in size. Drifted up refers to being carried along by air or water. Acrid means a sharp smell or taste. Myriads is something in a very huge number. Veldt is an open grazing land in Africa. Snapped off means broken away. Hoppers are young locusts. Mangled means damaged. And lastly, devastated means destroyed. Since you know the meanings of all the difficult words in this lesson, I am sure you'll find it easier if you read it again. Now, move on to the next part of this lesson, in which we'll be discussing some important questions regarding this story.